Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 12th of April 1961, Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet astronaut, left the Earth for the first time. This was the first time ever that a human being left the Earth, putting the space race on, giving birth to the space age. However, due to the stagnant way in which the space age has been done, it has put on hold scientific advancement. Scientific advancement that proposition side will prove to you will be helped by a manned mission to Mars. This is why we believe that state money in countries with a space program devoted to scientific research should be devoted to developing the technology needed in order to ultimately send a spaceship with a human crew to Mars' surface. In order to address this, we'll be addressing four main arguments. The first two, which I will be addressing, are pushing boundaries and investing in the future. Afterwards, my teammate David will talk about how current non-manned missions are not providing results and how this strengthens political bonds. Moving on to my first argument, pushing boundaries. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the scientific boundaries that a manned mission to Mars would bring forth. By sending human beings to space, we'll be addressing unique discoveries that cannot be addressed within the Earth's surface. Ladies and gentlemen, things such as the bone and muscle depletion that has already been studied in space, which has helped bedridden patients to be able to walk again. These sorts of things that are helped by the different characteristics of being outside the Earth can give scientific research. In the same way, we would be further advancing scientific discoveries by not only being able to find new scientific advancements within the Earth, but also beyond. It is for these reasons that Professor Neil deGrasse of the American National History Museum believes that a manned mission to Mars should be accomplished, because he says that there are things in Mars which we still don't know about. We still don't know if there's life, and they say that the physiological characteristics of Mars are determined by the fact that they may be vestiges of life in them. Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how exactly it is relevant to humanity to know if there exists once life?
Yes, sir. I believe that knowledge is important. I believe that it is important for the development of human knowledge to know if there is someone else in the solar system, if there is life in the solar system, and in this way we can further advance our knowledge. Because knowledge is society, ladies and gentlemen. A society that puts a halt in its knowledge is a society that is not constantly evolving. These features that Professor Neil deGrasse is talking about may tell us that there is life in Mars, ladies and gentlemen. They may tell us new things that are meant to be discovered. And also we must remember the personal boundaries. On July 1969, when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the surface of the moon, ladies and gentlemen, millions of people were watching around the world, including millions of children. Millions of children who looked at Neil Armstrong and said, I want to be like him. I want to be the person who brings human knowledge to another step, who brings a leap for humanity, ladies and gentlemen. And this way, they were encouraged to be scientists. They were encouraged to study in order to become astronauts, ladies and gentlemen. They became future engineers. Why? Because these sorts of advancements are things that inspire people, are things that inspire a 7-year-old to say, I want to step on the moon, mommy. Space is the final frontier, ladies and gentlemen. And this final frontier is very important because with it brings scientific advancement and personal advancement through inspiration and human development. Moving on to my second argument, how this is investing in the future. Besides the experiments that I already talked about in my first argument, and how they are bringing human knowledge to another level, how they are bringing people from being able to walk again, how they are helping people, we must also remember how giving money to these sorts of programs would actually help human knowledge as a whole, would actually help develop engineering, and engineering is really important naturally in order to have a space, in order to build a spaceship as the one that is necessary for a manned mission to Mars. And in this way, we would be advancing math and physics. All of this would be joined together in the knowledge pool of humankind, ladies and gentlemen. And not only this, But this knowledge is not only constrained to spaceships. This knowledge has been focused in other directions. For example, did you know that Teflon in pans used for cooking actually comes from experiments done in outer space? It is actually helping us in our everyday life, ladies and gentlemen, because it is, I'll take you in a second, because it is advancing human knowledge and it is bringing forth new scientific advancements, yes.
But how can we have knowledge if we don't have life? We have to focus on the problems here on Earth, as poverty and health.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I am focusing on the problems here on Earth. I am focusing on the fact that we need to develop our technology in order to help people here on Earth. And by doing it through giving money to the space, to the space program, we would not only be helping this space program to be resolved, but we would be developing engineering, mathematics, and physics, which are necessary for building infrastructure, which are necessary in order to develop urban settlements and things like that. We must also remember that it is not only science fiction that tells us about colonization of other planets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the future. Let's take a look at the future. Things that are currently maybe only Star Trek in our lifetime, but maybe in another stage of human evolution, it will be important. It will be important to be able to colonize other planets, to be able to know that human colony can be put. No, thank you, sir. That a human colony can be built on another planet, because in this way we are protecting humanity. Because scientists in the University of Phoenix said that in case that an asteroid or a comet actually collided against the Earth, as they already did in the human's geological past, eradicating the dinosaurs, this could happen to humankind, ladies and gentlemen. And by having extensive knowledge of the space and how this works, we'll be actually able to prevent this catastrophe, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be advancing human knowledge even beyond my lifetime, even beyond your lifetime, to lifetimes of generations and generations to come. Because technology is the answer. And developing a space program, developing a manned mission to Mars brings forth many scientific and personal advancements that can be used for the future, ladies and gentlemen. We must also remember that the current space program is not advanced enough. These are the points that my teammates will talk about through the current non-manned missions being not providing results and how this transcends political bonds. I've already talked to you about how this pushes boundaries, both personal and scientific, and how this is an investment in the future. It is for these reasons, for developing human knowledge, for bringing forth science to the next frontier, because space is the final frontier, that I beg this House to propose this motion. Thank you very much.